Imagine working for Demoniacal Fit and your boss tells you, all right, this is it. This is the final product. Let's go ahead and start distributing these. Imagine being a true fan of Gohan and you get told that. Like, they got my boy Gohan looking bad out here with some of these faces. What the heck is up, you guys? Animated Heroes here, back with another action figure review. And as you guys can see today, we're going to be taking a look at the Demoniacal Fit Mightiest Warrior from Possessed Horse. And man, I've actually been waiting on this figure for quite some time. I think we were supposed to get this back in December. I think it just got to a point where everyone just forgot about it, unless you pre-ordered it, which I was not about to do, because there's no way I was about to pay for this and not know when it was actually going to release. Good thing that I didn't, because that was money I could have used for something else, and I'm pretty sure that I did. But as you guys can see, we do finally have it in hand, and just looking through the package, it actually looks really nice. I know there's going to be some issues that I have with this figure. Of course, I'm going to discuss all of that. But first, let's go ahead and take a look at that sexy packaging. Then we'll get the figure right out and we'll dive right into it. Now, for that sexy packaging, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I really like the way Demoniacal Fit does their boxes. Something about these Dragon Ball figures looks really dope to me, even though some of them aren't of the best quality. As you can see, you got the window packaging with Gohan right there, or Mightiest Warrior as they call him. Mightiest Warrior right there, ages 15 up, Demoniacal Fit right there. Nothing going on at the top, nothing going on at the bottom. It just says Mightiest Warrior. On the side, you got an image of Gohan with his teeth gritted, getting ready to fight. Funny how this image looks so much better with this face just because it's not colored properly. Then, of course, on this side, it just says Mightiest Warrior. Then on the back, you have what is weird to me. It looks a little bit discolored. The hair on the back actually looks brown, like it looks really brown. I don't know if anyone has said that, but it looks super brown. But anyway, you got all the legal stuff at the bottom, which I don't even know how that works with a company like Demoniacal Fit. But yeah, poses you can get them into, and that's pretty much it. Same thing they always do with their packaging, so let's go ahead and bust this guy open and see what it's all about. Now, straight out of the packaging, I'll be 100% honest with you guys. I'm very impressed with what we've got so far. Of course, I do have some things I need to discuss in terms of issues, but I'm very impressed. This actually, in terms of the default face and just the figure itself, this came out very nice. The paintwork is clean. I really like how they went with the dark blues on this guy instead of giving it the lighter blues like Goku. I thought that the hair was a little bit too tall based on how it looked in reviews. I thought the sculpt was kind of soft, but it's not. Like, it looks really good. And hold on, let me focus that. There we go, whole lot better. But yeah, it looks really good. Now, in terms of Dragon Ball figures, if you have a Goku, you already know what to expect from the body. And so there's really no point in me going over the details because it just feels like another reused mold. But in terms of paintwork, I've got to give it to them. They did really solid. And then on this default face, I'm sorry, I legit think this is the best representation we've got of an adult Gohan figure. Granted, the other faces have some issues. I think that this one works very well, and so I like it. That's my first impression of it. I really do like it. So my focus keeps going out and I have no idea why. But anyway, let's go ahead and put this guy back and see how tall he stands. Then we can dive right into that articulation. So in terms of height, Gohan does stand 6 inches to the top of his hair, about a little under 5.5 to the top of his forehead. So definitely going to fit in scale with your average Dragon Ball figures. And of course, I'll show that in some size comparisons a little bit later. Now, in terms of his articulation, he can look up quite a fair amount, and I think that's why they did the head the way they did. It looks a little weird at the back. As you guys can see, the hair sticks out quite a bit, but if you're posing him forward, of course, or even really turned to the side, it doesn't look too bad depending on how you have it angled. But it does help, and this was actually my fault. I'm glad this happened on camera. I'll show it to you. I was doing some head swaps earlier, and I don't think I put it all the way back in, and there it just popped on. But yeah, he looks up quite a bit, looks down very well. That's impressive. You can, of course, get tilt out of this, so you get a whole lot of expression. You can move it around at the neck. These are the exact same as on the SH Figuarts, and so they're a separate piece. You can rotate him around and move his arm just about however you want to. He does have a bicep swivel, of course, double jointed elbows. My shoulders are the only thing on this figure that are loose, and it's not real bad. Like, I had gotten Black Goku and it was so bad I sold that thing within 5 minutes of opening it. But this isn't bad at all these joints are really tight. But anyway, of course, his hands move around. They're on your regular ball peg, and I'm trying to pull that off. I want to show it to you guys on camera, but that's a little tough, so I'll probably mess with that a little bit later. But he does have a diaphragm joint that works very well. Waist swivel, of course. You can kick out very well, kick back very well. He can do the splits, as you guys can see. He does have thigh swivel, double jointed knees. Foot goes up that much, down about that much. Of course, it does have ankle pivot, and it's tough, but he does have a toe hinge as well. So articulation wise, I cannot complain. Like, obviously this isn't their mold, but you're getting everything that you're supposed to get out of it, and I don't have any issues with it. And since I was trying to do it on camera and it didn't work, I don't want you guys to think that the wrist pegs are tough or anything. I just had to get behind the camera to take it off, and it was no problem. These actually pop on and off very well, and they don't feel fragile like the old joints that we used to get with these guys. Now, in terms of his accessories, you definitely get a fair amount, and that's something that I cannot complain about. I'll start with the hands, and then I'll make my way to the faces. Of course, you get the pair of fist hands that are already on him. You get a pair of blasting hands. You get a pair of Kamehameha hands. And then, of course, you get a pair of martial arts hands. And all of these look really good. And that's blurry, so let me focus on that. I don't know what's up with my focus today. It's not wanting to work with me. But yeah, you get these martial arts hands. Then, of course, you get this extra thumbs up hand, which I'm glad they included this. That's pretty dope. You get an alternate head. You get a Super Saiyan head, which is the exact same as the one that comes on him. Now, this looks really dope. I've got to give it to him. I'm so glad they didn't go with the translucent hair. Like, I hate that for Super Saiyan, and I hate that metallic look. This is perfect, and as you guys can see, it's even got some shading on it, and so I think they did a great job with this. You also get an alternate hairpiece, so you can have him without his bang. Of course, I'll show some photos of that later on in the video. And then you get some expressions. I'll start with the good one, and then I'll go to the bad ones. You get this smirk, which I've got to give it to him. This is great. Like, the normal default expressions where his mouth is closed, they did better than Tamashii Nations. Tamashii Nations has yet to nail a Gohan figure, and I'll show photos in just a sec. Actually, I'll just show off the head sculpts, but yeah, in terms of the default expressions, they did good. And now it's time to move to the tragedies. You have these two faces, one for Super Saiyan, one for the default, where I don't know what is going on here. Like, it's just weird. Like, it's not that the face is scrunched up. That's actually not even the case. It's just something about these looks off. Like, because if you compare it to the proportions of the other face, the eyebrows are the same length, the nose is the same. Maybe it's that the mouth is sitting too high, or maybe the head's just too small, but I don't know. Something went terribly wrong with these faces. And then, of course, you've got this one as well, which, once again, everything lines up the exact same. Something just went wrong. So, in terms of accessories, you definitely get an array. I'm happy about that, but I just hate the fact that this guy's pretty much going to be neutral, because I will never pose him with those screaming / teeth gritted expressions at all. I just can't do it. Now, for all the Tamashii Nations enthusiasts, the ones who are going to say, well, Tamashii Nations did it better because theirs is authentic. No, that is not the case, because if you look at this Demoniacal Fit Gohan, you cannot tell me that face doesn't capture Gohan perfectly. This is the best interpretation of adult Gohan. And the reason I say that is because if you look at these two head sculpts, this one's okay. This one is way off. This looks horrible. Now, granted, this is a 1.0 version. Something about both of these just looks off in comparison to this one. Like, they just don't look good. This one looks like a bootleg. This one looks like it's authentic. This one looks like someone tried to make an extra head sculpt for Gohan and it didn't come out quite perfect, but I like this version more than I like the original, and that says a lot. Now, the only one that came out good made by Tamashii Nations, in my opinion, is this one. This doesn't look bad at all. I really like how they did the hair. You can tell it's a Super Saiyan 2 instead of just regular Super Saiyan, but at the same time, I like this one just as much. And so, like, in this situation, I just gotta say Demoniacal Fit did it better. Now, granted, I don't think they could have done this head sculpt better. This is fire. I love this. But these two that we have here, these are great, and I'm very content with these. Now, for the people who were probably planning on getting this body just to put a Goku head sculpt on it, I will say it does work. As you guys can see, it fits right on the body with no problem. The only issue is that the hole is a little too small in the neck of Goku, and all of them are the same size, so they'll fit the same way. You can put it on there, but it's not going to click. It will stick, as you guys can see. It's not falling off or anything, but it's just not meant for this. Now, if you put some sticky tack in there, it'll probably look fine, but if you get to posing this guy around, doing a whole lot of dynamic stuff, that head's probably going to pop off on you quite often. So it will work if you guys were planning that. It's just, it's not meant for this. Now, for anybody who doesn't know about the Great Saiyaman Gohan, if you were planning on trying to put these head sculpts on this body, it's just not going to work because the peg in the neck is way too small. And if you guys look, the hole in the neck of this Gohan figure, which these two are the same, is just too big. It's not going to fit. Of course, you can sit the head on the body like I just did, but that's all it's going to do. And this one is just going to fling around if you decide you want to pose it. So, granted, it looks great, but it's just not going to work. I'll probably still take some pictures like this because that looks just so dope to me, but it's just not going to work, unfortunately. Now, for some size comparisons, you do have the fathers and their sons, of course. You got the SH Figuarts Saiyan Raised on Earth Goku, SH Figuarts 2.0 Super Saiyan Vegeta, and then, of course, the SH Figuarts Time Patroller with the future Trunks from Dragon Ball Super head swap on it. And I think all of these scale pretty good together. They look very nice. Next up, here he is standing next to the SH Figuarts 2.0 Kid Gohan, the SH Figuarts Great Saiyaman, and the Demoniacal Fit Vegito. Lastly, here he is standing next to the Marvel Legends Retro Wave Spider-Man with a House of M head swap. Probably the most important, the SH Figuarts Super Boo, and then a McFarlane Toys Nightwing. And these are just in case you want to get your mix-up on. And once again, I think he scales very well with all of them. Now, this is one of those instances where I will say Demoniacal Fit definitely did it right. I'm very happy with this release. Other than the issues I had with the faces, I can't find a single thing to complain about. Granted, my shoulders are just a little bit loose, but that's what you should expect when you buy something that's bootleg anyway. And it's not to the point to where it's even annoying. It's just something I felt that I should mention. Because other than that, all the joints are tight. I'm not having any issues with joints, swapping parts, nothing. No paint rub, nothing. And that is very impressive. It goes to show Demoniacal Fit is definitely coming up. Now, honestly, I had every plan to attack this review entirely different than I did. I was ready to complain about why they went with Mystic Gohan instead of going with Future Gohan, or at least going with the purple gi that we got in the beginning. Like, that is exactly what I was planning on doing with this review. And not that I wanted to complain, I was thinking that it might be a decent figure, but it's a whole lot better than I thought it was going to be. This has far exceeded my expectations. So I will say, if you're a fan of Gohan, I would highly recommend picking this up because they killed it. Other than those expressions, there's literally nothing for me to complain about. And that says a lot when I'm buying a bootleg figure. This guy is really going to look good with the rest of my SH Figuarts Dragon Ball figures. You won't even be able to tell the difference, especially if it's someone who's a non-collector. They'll walk in, pick it up, look at it, and be like, wow, this is amazing. And that's what I think about the figure. So do I recommend it? Yes. Guys, pick this up. If you want to know where I got mine, I got it from Omnime store. I will leave the link to their website in the description below. Go check them out. They're very fast shipping. Also, you can hit them up on Instagram. They're very responsive. They get back to you pretty fast. So great transaction, great figure. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. If so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. That always helps me out. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and make sure to hit that bell icon to be notified whenever I upload new videos. And then lastly, follow me on everything you see listed in the description below to keep up with my activity outside of YouTube. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day and stay safe. Peace.